Picture this: a dying orange fire inside a heavy black cast iron stove, smoke pouring out of a clay chimney, a small kitchen reeking of burnt pine. Outside, a frozen American backyard, snow piled against the porch, and a homeowner who paid almost nothing to heat the entire house all winter. Sounds cheap. Sounds honest. Sounds old-fashioned. Now here's the problem. That stove is illegal, banned federally by the EPA since May 15, 2020. You can still own one. You can still burn in it if the air is clean. But if a dealer tries to sell you a brand new copy of it today, the federal government can charge them. The minimum federal fine for selling an uncertified unit starts at around $750. And the age of that stove in your neighbor's garage behind the snow shovels, that is the story most Americans never hear. You see, wood heating in the United States was never a tiny backwoods hobby. It is real infrastructure. Roughly 2.5 million American households still heat with wood as their primary winter fuel. Millions more lean on a wood stove as a backup when a polar vortex kills the grid. And almost every single one of those stoves was made before the EPA tightened its rules. So even after the federal ban, the woods of rural America are still loaded with the exact machines the EPA once called the single largest source of fine particle pollution in many counties. The reason most people do not realize this is that smoke has been romanticized. We painted it on cabins. We stamped it onto holiday cards. We linked it to nostalgia. But black smoke is also what the new rule was trying to kill. So what changed? In 1988, the EPA first regulated new residential wood stoves, setting a ceiling of 7.5 grams of smoke per hour. That was step 0. Then came step 1 in 2015, which lowered the limit to 4.5 grams per hour for catalytic stoves and non-catalytic stoves both. 5 years later, in May of 2020, the EPA rolled out step 2, the rule currently in force. Under step 2, a stove certified using cordwood must emit no more than 2.5 grams per hour. A stove tested using the cribwood method must emit no more than 2.0 grams per hour. To put that in human terms, the old pre-2020 stove is roughly 2 to 3 times smokier than a certified modern unit. Stack them side by side, light them on the same wood. Look at the chimney. The difference is visible inside a few seconds. And this is where the federal ban gets interesting, because it is not actually a ban on owning, and it is not a ban on burning, except during air quality emergencies. What the EPA did was ban the sale, the advertisement, and the manufacture of any new residential wood heater that does not certify under Step 2. So a homeowner in Maine, in Montana, in upstate New York, can still fire up a 1990s Atlantic or a Fisher Papa Bear every January night. Federal agents are not coming to confiscate it. But no one is allowed to brand a new unit like that and put it on a shelf. Hardware stores that stock uncertified imports can be fined. Online resellers can be fined. One Northwest stove supplier in 2019 settled with the EPA and agreed to pay $8,250 for selling just 5 uncertified wood stoves across Alaska, California, Oregon, and Washington. That is roughly $1,650 per stove. The math is harsh enough that honest dealers do not risk it. Now, the political layer. Why does this rule exist at all? Wood smoke is not just visually dirty. It contains fine particulate matter known as PM2.5. The same kind of particle that gets pulled deep into human lungs and ends up triggering asthma, heart attacks, and chronic bronchitis in elderly neighbors. The EPA's own analysis estimated that the Step 2 standards alone would cut residential wood stove-related emissions by roughly 2/3 and deliver between $3.4 billion and $7.6 billion in long-term public health benefits. That estimate is contested politically, but the basic physics is not. Wood smoke is hard on lungs. Old stoves produce a lot of it. Tighter rules can lower the amount. Whether you think the rule is heavy-handed or scientifically necessary, the federal position is now baked into every single new stove sitting on a showroom floor. And that is why you're starting to see the strange, almost contradictory twist of buyback programs. In Oregon, Washington County pays residents $250 to hand over an old, uncertified stove. In Washington State, the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency has offered $500 for the same trade-in. In some Stevens County zip codes, the landfill has handed out $400 on single drop-off days. And on the high end, a Washington County rebate can pay $1,500 to $4,000 when an old stove is replaced with a cleaner heat pump or EPA-certified pellet unit. So the same government that fines dealers for selling uncertified stoves is now literally paying Americans to take their existing uncertified stoves off the grid. That contradiction is the heart of this story. Old wood stoves became illegal to manufacture and sell, but the federal government still recognizes that millions of them already exist, and it has decided the cleanest path forward is to pay for their retirement rather than criminalize their owners. But there is another layer most people miss. State and regional air agencies can, and do, ban the burning of even certified stoves during bad air days. In Washington's Puget Sound region, a Stage 1 burn ban blocks any wood heating unless the wood stove is the only adequate source of heat in the home. A Stage 2 burn ban prohibits all wood burning, even certified units, plus all outdoor burning. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District, since 2008, has made it illegal to burn wood on spare the air days for particulate pollution. The Oregon Department of Environmental Quality runs similar restrictions. So a certified stove is not an absolute right. The right to burn wood is conditional on the weather, the wind, the inversion layer, and the local AQI reading. Here is where frustration builds. Many of the families that still rely on old wood stoves are not anti-regulation. They are rural, low-income, off-grid, or simply terrified of one more utility rate hike. A stove bought in 1987 still works. It heats 3,000 square feet for the cost of cutting wood from a backyard. Replacing it means spending $2,000 to $4,000 on a new certified model, hundreds more on professional installation, and a chimney inspection. Then they learn that even after paying all of that, an air quality day can shut their heating off at the flick of a state agency's pen. That tension between rural heating economics and urban air pollution rules is exactly why this is one of the most quietly emotional regulatory fights in America. And there is one loophole the EPA ban did not touch, and this is where honest reporting matters. Fireplaces are explicitly excluded from the federal rule because fireplaces are treated as aesthetic, not heating devices. Outdoor fire pits are not covered. Wood cook stoves are treated separately. So if you burn wood in a fireplace tonight in suburban Chicago or in suburban Denver, you're technically outside the federal wood heater ban. Most Americans do not know that. So when you put every layer on the table together, the picture is this. Old wood stoves were once among the cheapest, most reliable heating devices in America. They are still everywhere. The federal government decided to choke off the supply, not the ownership. New stoves must emit less than 2.5 grams of smoke per hour to be sold legally. Dealers who break that rule are fined. Existing stoves get grandfathered in, but in many states they are restricted on bad air days. And state clean air agencies are spending millions of dollars to buy those old stoves back, rather than leave them burning for another 20 winters. The stove in the photo of your grandparents' farmhouse kitchen is almost certainly the kind of machine the EPA's Step 2 rule was written to retire. It is not illegal to keep, but it is illegal to manufacture, illegal to sell, and in some places it is even illegal to actually burn on the wrong day. That nuance is exactly why Americans keep arguing about wood heat. The stove sits in plain sight, doing exactly what it has always done. The law just changed around it.